welcome to a review of South Park Season 27, Episode 3, titled Sickofancy. So this is primarily a Randy episode and we'll jump right into it. We begin with Randy filming a Tegrity Farms ad, kinda just his typical Tegrity mood. And ICE take all his employees, who I presume are undocumented immigrants. He goes back home, is upset, and definitely modern Randy we see is ignorant of anything about himself. He's upset, the dream's over, they might have to move back to the streets of South Park inside the town. And he's distraught. He's surprised his family are distraught, despite the fact they've told him they do not want to live on Tegrity Farms, and he's surprised because it just shows how ignorant Towelie is, or Randy is. And he's just talking to ChatGPT again, and we see that ChatGPT may have a great idea for Tegrity Farms and its future. So Towelie is distraught. He's using ChatGPT himself to try and get a new job, but Randy comes in and stops him, saying his ChatGPT has a solution. And there's kind of a parody of tech firms and all this kind of stuff. And they asked ChatGPT to create a business plan, and they take ketamine, and it's all pretty nuts. They're in Richard Tug's cafe, and they renamed the firm Tegrity, and they have an ad just basically full of gobbledygook about global solutions and kind of a parody of modern finance bros or tech bros or whatever, just completely positive, we're going to change the world, we're so cool, stuff like that. And Sharon is frustrated because we know Sharon is one of the more rational people in the show, more grounded people, and that she's just like, what the hell is going on here? Then we're at the White House. Various people are in the Oval Office and kind of just buttering up Trump and talking about how he doesn't have small equipment. And Satan is just sick of Trump and just wants to get out of there because, for obvious reasons, if you've seen these 3 episodes, you know this kind of Saddam Hussein Trump person, if you've seen even the previous episodes, are pretty insufferable, this character. So Randy and Towelie go to ICE and use this ChatGPT thing to get in, and they get a Mexican dude for their work. And clearly they're just using ChatGPT for everything, which I think is another parody of just how people are just too reliant on it nowadays. Although it's pretty good. So then Sharon even tries using ChatGPT. She suggests a random food idea to turn French fries into salad, and ChatGPT loves it, and she's like, this thing is good. It really knows how to get on top of you and really get into your head. So then Towelie gets sent to Washington DC, and Towelie's just going around all these famous Washington monuments like Supreme Court, the Abraham Lincoln statue of him sitting down, and the statue of George Washington. And those last two of those 2 American historical figures were now Donald Trump with his equipment showing, which is interesting. And there's also just ICE agents everywhere, or army, or people in kind of khakis anyway. And so Towelie is waiting in line, and he goes into the Oval Office and sits down, and there's kind of a bit of chat, and Randy has a pitch to legalize. He wants Trump to legalize the green stuff, Mary Jane, and in exchange you can have Towelie, saying Towelie is a super towel made of really good fabrics. And it seems it's worked, because Towelie is now in the gift room and is living with this Saddam Hussein caricature. It's not a fun time. Towelie's like, uh-oh. So then Randy's just sitting outside the farm, just like completely spaced. and Sharon impersonates ChatGPT and kind of convinces Randy to go, because then they move out of the farm. Randy's back in his blue geologist shirt, and it looks like they're going back to South Park. And then the final scene is Hey Satan, is like this parody show of Trump coming in saying, "Hey Satan, do you want to do stuff?" And Satan just wants to get out so bad. He goes in, talks to the mirror kind of, and then Towelie has been used. Towelie has some, stuff on him, DNA on him, let's say. And Towelie's like, "I want to get out of here." And yeah, that's where the episode ends. So this was definitely Randy and Towelie episode. Is pretty funny, I have to say. Because for the first bit, we see prime Randy, modern Randy, where he's just an absolute clown. A good dynamic in the show is the Randy clown, Sharon rational, because that is pretty funny. Because I think back to the school shooters episode, where the whole town was like kind of gaslighting Sharon for being upset. And I'd have to say Sharon is smart in this episode, because we see that she impersonates ChatGPT at the end, and ultimately I think we'll see in the next episode or whenever, it looks like the Marshes are heading back to South Park. So thank you for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments.